Okay. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. I got it.
Got it. So we are ready.
Set. Go live. How you doing, Dr. Priscilla?
Hey sis, hey sis, hey sis. Things are fantastic for me. I am at my girlfriend's house right now instead of.
That's who I see in the background.
Yeah, wave, Mary. Say hi.
Hi, Mary.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, we're in her newly designed sunroom. This is my new home. It's simply gorgeous. It's windows all around. I'm not necessarily sure why today it's like an overcast because it's bright sunny outside. But either way, you can see those windows back there.
I do. I see the one by you. I
And
see.
there's some in front of me. And then there's the opening over here, which goes into the other part of the house. But anyway,
The sunroom.
yes, the sunroom. Yeah, this is one of my more financially free friends. This is
Okay.
the one with the beach home,
Okay.
sunroom. I have my own room here. And Mary has been teaching me how to cook. So this week we've been cooking, and I just finished cooking pork chops, macaroni.
Did you videotape any of it?
Well, I didn't do this. I did 2 days ago. I copied.
Okay.
So maybe I'll make it in two.
So yeah, you need to
know.
see some of your shorts and some of your reels.
This need to be
60
documented.
seconds, just 60 seconds or 35 seconds.
Yeah,
Pillars in the kitchen.
I know.
You know, a lot of people not gonna believe that.
I know.
I think it's fabulous.
Actually, I've been investigating the reels, YouTube shorts, and various things that will, get me exposure. And I found a brand new toy. It's not a toy per se, but it's a training or learning tool for Emil. Remember, who did I say it was? Tupperware. Tupperware has this big hard plastic that I think every family has one. It's like a star and a round ball, and you find the appropriate space to put your little thing in, and then it's full, and then you open it up and you dump it out and you start over again. Well, yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a toy or learning device, but a fun device. And this kid could not be 1 year old, 1 year of age. And he seemed to have the most fun with these dimensional blocks or shapes. And you can just make, it's like a Lego, but it's bigger than a Lego. So you can't eat it because it's too big, but very pliable. And I thought, Emil has to have one of these. So I ordered him that, and we'll see what transpires in about 6 months. He'll be able to touch them. And I was talking to Mary about, don't wait until it's age appropriate. Introduce it now. So when it is whatever is age appropriate, the child will be familiar with this and will decide either I like it or I don't like it. From Edwin and Marika's point of view, as I understand it, this child will not have just a room full of toys that, oh, this is cute. Let me get this, let me get that. I think he's going to grow up the way I grew up. Just give me a box, a cardboard box, push me around in it, let me cut it up, make something out of it or not, and go into the kitchen. I don't know if you remember.
So wait, he's not gonna have any toys?
Yeah, he'll have some toys, but I see some kids' toys, they just an abundance of toys. Before you even play with that one, you have something more. An abundance of toys. When you were growing up, did you go in like the ice cream tub? There's ice cream that like the 2 gallon or 1 gallon ice cream that had those lids, and you could make those frisbees. Well, we would take the pots and pans from mother's house, from our mother's kitchen cabinet, and go outside and make our sizzlers. I think frisbees is what they were called. Because
frisbees.
We didn't get any new frisbees. We would take what would be in the kitchen. Of course, when mother got home from work, they'd be back in the kitchen. So, but anyway, the joy of of just remembering what it was like when I was growing up. And I didn't have an overabundance of toys. However, there was an overabundance of kids. I have 3 older brothers and 1 older sister. So whatever filtered down from them, we had hula hoops that we made out of bicycle tires and put a stick in it to hold it together. No, it wasn't a bicycle tire. It was like a hose pipe. It was a hose pipe. We didn't get to buy a brand new hula hoop. So not that he will not have some of those things, but he will not have an abundance of those unless I'm buying them, according to how I hear Edwin and Marika talk. But
Well, what do they say when they're talking?
they're saying that this child doesn't about other children. Why do they need this? Or what is the purpose of this toy? What is it? What are they going to do with this? And where are they going to put it afterwards? So they're much more into books. The child has too many books already and he can't read, but I'm into books. So he will have an overabundance of books. They don't necessarily say anything about any one particular toy, in specific toy, but it's just the way that Adrian's going to have him understand cars or Jeeps. I'm not so sure how that's going to play into
And hence it begins the conditioning of a belief system. And and it's interesting. It's interesting to, because I think the question that I think, first of all, I think parenting is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm still doing it. And it's a lifetime job. It's, I don't care what people say, oh, when this child gets 18 years old, then I'm kicking him out. And I just think I don't know what I think about that. I don't think people should always have to start over from scratch. That is not how the people that run the world live in the world. Believe you me, that they give their family members more than enough opportunities to excel in either the family business or in whatever business that they want to be in. And none of that, let me say the majority of people. I'm sure there's a small percentage of people who are like, I'm only going to give you this, or I'm only going to give you that. I think I was having a conversation with who I think should be one of the richest people in TV is Aaron Spelling, and he's not alive anymore, but and he had 2 children. And for some reason, when he died, he only left them like $800,000 a piece. And I mean, this man was like worth almost $1 billion.
Okay.
And so, and then Tori was estranged from her mother.
Who is Tori? Is that one of Aaron Spelling's?
The daughter.
Okay.
And she had it's just interesting why people do what they do. And the way he raised those kids was he had like a bowling alley in the house. He did not prepare his kids to be adults. And then when they got adults and they couldn't do certain things, for some reason, he leaves them with $800,000. And it's like, they don't know how to live with only $800,000. $800,000 is something that, they would just spend in less than a year or whatever when they were growing up. So now they're adults, and for some reason, and no one knows all of the family dynamics, but I just think it's such an interesting story. He left everything to his wife. And so I think she knows her grandchildren, and I think they have trust or whatever. So you do have some instances like that, but I think they're people who are basically very eccentric. I'm saying all that just to say it is so interesting what we decide, and what our children end up doing. I'm creative, and that was the most important thing to me for my child to be. I wanted her to be creative. I didn't care what it was that she wanted to do, definitely do some athletics, which she did do and was extremely good in them. She really, if she hadn't, veered and started being a teenager, I think easily she could have been on an Olympic team, you
Mhm.
know. But she's very creative. There's really not much, you know, that's her painting right there that she did.
Right.
This one.
Mhm.
And so I asked her, I said, how long did it take you to do that? I think she said it took like, I don't know, 45 minutes or something like that. If it took, she said I did it in under an hour.
Right.
So to her, it's not, oh, I'm the artist. To her, that's just life. That's what she does. Whether it's painting, whether it's writing poetry, whether I remember when she started the makeup channel, she didn't know how to do makeup because God knows I didn't teach her how to do makeup because this is my makeup. I'm gonna put some mascara on, put some eyebrow pencil on, and I'm putting some lipstick on. You know, since I've been in the community, I'm more apt to maybe put a base on if I'm doing something, but no base today. Just, you know, this is what you get.
Well,
Yeah.
I am very much attuned to that is how whatever involvement I have with Emil on his journey to adulthood, it's for him to be expressive and as creative as he can possibly be. With my intervening with, as I said, the things that I purchased for him, it is for him to do as he chooses. If he wants to just kick them all day long, then kick them all day long. If he wants to try to build something from them, it isn't coming with any sheet of paper for me. Oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. It's just a wagon of plastic Legos, if you will, that however he chooses to put them together, then it is. What I got from the video as I watched the little child play with it, your imagination is endless. If you can
Right.
put 5 of these together and you're happy with the 5, then leave the other 40 in the wagon. If you want to dump all 40 of them on the floor and play with them. But what will not happen at Grandma's place is that you'll have those 40 things and 50 books and another set of toys over in the corner and another set of something else in the middle of the floor. That ain't gonna happen. No, we will play with one thing, maybe 2 at the same time, probably not even 2, but more like one thing that you'll be playing with. And however you choose to express yourself, so be it. I plan to spend a lot of time, maybe when he's 1, almost outside of the house. It's going to be fun day in the park or going to a restaurant, things that I can afford to do that I wasn't able to do with Edwin. So these will be the benefits that Emil will get. That's what I'm thinking now. I might not feel like wanting to go to a restaurant, but you know, up until the point, I'm not trying to cook in the kitchen either. But when Edwin was growing up, there wasn't an opportunity for me to do that much exploration. I had to go to work. When I got home from work, I pick you up from daycare, or you come home after school, or whatever. There wasn't that much interaction as I did the best that I could. And then, of course, we always had Friday was family day, family time, which like, oh my gosh, we got to go and sit down for another hour. But I think that was important. I think I can say that he appreciate what we did in those days that we spent. He, Dimples, and myself would sit and just talk for an hour. Not too many times did it exceed an hour, but it was a time that they came to look forward to. Okay, but this is something that we do. It's a ritual, it's something. So I just want to create memories, I think I should say, with Emil, so that he'll have those that I have memories with my mother, but it's going to look at a photo album. But now you can just look at a quick video of a captured moment. So I think that that's amazing. And I like the fact that Facebook or whomever sends me every year, you know, special moments that
Yeah.
I remember that. And I don't have to go look for it in a book, but I remember it just as if it was happening right then. So that's what I envision for Emil. His life is not going to be that structured like you're not going to have a bowling alley in your home, but Edwin's lifestyle, Marika's lifestyle, is destined, as I see it, to expose him to more things than you might typically think. He is going to be an outdoors boy, and hopefully he'll enjoy the out of doors. So time will tell, you know.
Yep.
So we just put in
Time will
the time.
tell.
We just put in the time and build a relationship and see. He will be self-sufficient, or if he's not, it will not be because he was not trained that way. He will be trained. He will know how to clean. He's going to be, as I envision, Michelle and not Michelle and Malik, but Malia and the other child, the Obama's children. No, just because you're from the family of the presidency, it doesn't mean that you don't have household chores. You do. You do. So there we have it.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world of English speakers?
Oh my goodness, I am so glad that you asked.
What are you up to? Because
I will tell you that I am in, this is an amazing time in my life. One, Emil, of course. Then to talk about my non-native English speakers. This past Thursday, we had a free workshop or an opportunity for students to come and practice their conversation. We had 92 invites, 24 people accepted, and I think 7 actually showed up. And it was
Okay.
amazing.
Good.
It was a pleasant amount of people to come there. They all seem to have enjoyed actively participating. And I haven't committed to it, but I plan to commit to doing this every week, every Thursday, or it may not be Thursday, but once a week, I will have a live.
Yeah, Thursday's a loaded day.
Is it, you think?
Everybody likes to do stuff on Thursdays, and usually on Thursdays, they're like 4 or 5 things that people have going on, you know.
Okay.
But
And
so
is it possibly because that is the week? I would think that I would have thought that Wednesday was that day that everything is like, okay, this is my biggest day. It's the middle of the week. The things that I was starting on Monday, I need to finalize it on Wednesday. And then Wednesday is the day that I start to gear up for the next week. So that was one of the reasons that I chose Thursday, because I was patterning it after my week. However, the weekend might be the best for non-native English speakers because of the variety of time zones that we're in. And most people except Bangladesh, and I don't have that many students in Bangladesh, their weekend starts like on Thursday.
Okay.
Because, and I think I want to say that Bangladeshians are Muslims. So the Muslims don't celebrate Sunday, or they don't, choose Sunday as a church day like we do. And their weekend starts on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday is their days off. Sunday and Saturday, they are doing a regular work, or at least in Bangladesh, they are. Some parts of Bangladesh, I should say. But I'll revisit that and try to decide how I'm going to offer the free classes. And then, of course, I'll be introducing a membership to the participants who want to do a little bit more.
So when you say a membership, so what are you getting ready to create a group?
Yeah, the membership, it will not be the group that we're currently, this Speak Excellent English Talking group will be here forever.
So will that be will it be a Facebook group?
It will, most likely it will be a Facebook group, but it will also have a website component. Now, all of the members of Speak Excellent English Talking group have access to certain specifics on the website. I have not promoted that to them as of recent, but I do have an ongoing Telegram group, and there are quite many people. There are 86 or 96 participants in that. So I'll be introducing
the membership to them,
to the Telegram group. Whether the Telegram group joins the the membership group, it's fine if they do, it's fine if they don't, but there will still be limits. Everyone in Speak Excellent English Talking Group have access to the Telegram group. The Telegram group is, if you can just think of WhatsApp, you just come on and practice and say, hello, my name is Dr. Priscilla. I live in the United States, and today I'm working on vocabulary. It is not waiting for me to respond, but someone else in the group might ask. Today, we were just talking about the word apprehensive. So if you're talking about the word apprehensive, what does the word apprehensive mean? Are you pronouncing it correctly? The word apprehensive means that you're not certain, you're a little bit unsure. And I'm just give me a sentence as an example, and hopefully 4 or 5 people will chime in with their thoughts on that word apprehensive. In the membership group, which hasn't been launched yet, they will have access to the Telegram group if they're not already in it, and they'll just build on that. But they can definitely know I will be live with them one time per month for them to ask questions, resolve some thoughts that they may have, anything that they may have proposed. And they will also have access to the endless amounts of PDFs that I'll be creating, live lessons that I will do that will be in a portal for them in some form that they will only the members will have access to. And I will also create special videos for the membership group based upon what their needs are or what they ask me to do. So for example, I could give you, if a student is studying for the English proficiency exam or the medical exam, everyone is not interested in that. So I might just do a quick tutorial of sorts, focusing on that for them.
And then have it in a portal, and if they want
it would
access
be the-
to it, they can go and access it.
But anyone in the membership group can go there and select it, because maybe they're not ready to do it now. But 6 months from now, if they're in university, before they can get access to some universities, if they want to go to university, they have to pass the English proficiency exam, but they may be in high school. So when they're ready, the material is there and it's still building and accumulating. So that will be available for them. And I don't have to just go and recreate something. I just have to catalog it,
Right.
in form for them to be able to access it. So thank you for asking. Yeah, and I'm excited about that as I grow and learn more about how to meet the needs of my learners. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. So it seems like they're getting a lot for the membership. So have you decided what ballpark figure you're going to be in?
Right now,
It's going to be a monthly thing, or if they pay annually, will it be less than paying monthly?
well, I'm going to follow the model that I've been accustomed to. So it's a membership, monthly membership. Pay now, no obligation to continue. Stay in as long as you wish. And as long as you're in, you have access to everything. Once your membership expires, everything goes. But if you decide, I want to take a 2-month vacation and you want to come back in 2 months, everything goes back to where it was. If you had access to ABC is still available to you. So it's a lifetime access as long as you are a member, if that makes sense.
And it'll be no less than and no more than, no less than what, $30 and no more than.
Well, I was thinking right now the value is $97, partly because it's new and I don't have that much of a volume. So $97 is, I have a lot that's there to start. Even if someone joined today,
I know.
there's a way that they'd be able to go through a month's worth of what I have.
Yeah.
But I still want
So I just want to focus on that for a second, because I don't want people to think that as you're putting this membership group together, that you're going to be creating all of this content. Dr. Priscilla has been creating content for a while now.
Yes, for quite
An abundance
yes, I have an
of
abundance of material.
material. So yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone decides to come in, I'm not promoting it today, but if you want to replay and you want to join, you are currently getting a $97 value, and the membership will start at $7.97. That's US $7.97, and you have complete access. But here's a caveat for those of you who might be listening and you're not sure. You do get a 35 to 45-minute conversation with me to see if in fact this is a good fit for you.
So what, you'll set that up in Calendly or something?
Yes,
like that?
I'll be setting that up in Calendly. But again, if you're listening to this replay, if you're listening to us now or listening to the replay, just ask me and I will connect with you. And
All right, now I know some students are gonna be mad at me, but you said $7.97. Could you make that $9.97?
$7.97. Well,
$9.97.
I did think about $9.97.
Yeah.
Which it probably will go to $9.97, but because it's just starting, I really
why it should start at $9.97.
I really wanted to offer it, the membership is for free, but because the Speak Excellent English group is so large, I only wanted people that were committed, who are going to not just come. I want them to have something vested, but not too much. So that's why it cannot be free. If you only want free, that's why we have the Speak Excellent English group. That's why I have the Telegram group. And that's why you have the YouTube channel. All of those are completely free for anyone who wants to learn at their own pace, at the snail pace, if they so desire. But I just think that right now, $7.97, when I get the promotional out, it may be that it's $7.97 for the first 2 months, going up to $9.97 thereafter. But the value of what I'll be
away for a second.
Okay, the value of what I'll be producing will be more than $97, but you'll still be able to receive it for $7.97 or $9.97 based upon your suggestion. Or you can tell me as a listening audience participant, what amount would you believe is reasonable? I know that many of us live in various parts of the world, and $1 in one place is not the same as $1 in another place. So what is the value that you believe is appropriate or something that you can afford? I might be able to get some companies to offer scholarships. I'm not sure, but based upon the interest, I'll see if I can get scholarships for some students. Now, there may be some of you who are listening on Facebook. I don't have my Facebook open, so I'm going to take a moment and look to see.
There is a student over there.
Okay.
Abdirah, Abdirahman.
Abdullah. Abdurrahman, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us today. You are with Coach Dwania and of course me, and we're talking about the benefits of being in a membership program for non-native English speakers. So I do believe, Abdurrahman, that you are a member of the Speak Excellent English Facebook talking group. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, know that it is my head and not my heart. So my battery light just came on, Coach. So let me run and get my battery for my laptop and I'll be right back.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about the membership group that Dr. Priscilla is getting ready to start. I've been in on some of her classes before, and even though I am an English speaker, I've learned a lot. It's amazing how much we think we know as opposed to how much we really know, and how much value I find in the courses and the classes and the information that she's teaching. And so I'm excited for the students who will be members of this particular group. And I believe the fact that, and that is, I don't want any of the students to be mad at me, but one of the reasons that I think that it would be all right to charge $9.97 is because once a month, you're going to get the opportunity to actually talk to her. You know, I would imagine that's going to be live, Dr. Priscilla. You will be in Zoom or something like that, and you will be handling questions in person with people that show up for the class.
So I know I didn't even bring my charger, so I had to borrow my friend's laptop, and I'm logging in before mine's shut down. So continue talking, Coach. Let me get logged in.
Okay.
It's a big one. It's a big
one.
one.
So I think that I know I'm in a group, and I pay about almost $20 a month to be in that group. And actually, and like what she's talking about, I have access to all of the information that he's done over the last however long he's been doing this membership call. But and the beauty of it is, if I miss it, if he definitely comes on once a month and that's really, you know, what I'm paying for, because I want to. You can read a book that somebody wrote in 2015, but when you're talking to the person in 2023, it makes a big difference. You guys can be studying out of books, but when you and whatever PDFs, what have you, but when you have the opportunity to actually be able to ask a question, and even with the group that I'm in, I don't get to, yes, I do, that once a month we actually get to be on a call, but it's not like the call where you can see everybody. You only ever just see the person, the doctor. You only see him, but you are able to ask your question to him, and there is a dialogue that goes back and forth. I don't know if Dr. P is going to be doing something along those lines, but I find that really does work well for me. And he has a lot of people on his calls. And that kind of way, you know, people are just so thrilled, you know, to ask their questions and to get the feedback. So that was why I was thinking that $9.97, because once a month you're going to be available. Not just questions that they type in chat, but I guess questions that they ask while you're, I guess those would be, I don't know if those will be.
Well, it seems that what you're suggesting is what I have in mind. Yes, they will be able to ask questions live. Also, they can send questions and comments in before the session. That way, they are more likely to get ample opportunities to understand the answer or my response and ask follow-up questions as well. I don't doubt for one moment that $9.97 is not a fair and reasonable price. In actuality, those who are committed and want to invest in themselves and have invested in programs, as you and I both know, we pay hundreds of dollars for one session.
Absolutely.
With a person. And to do the things that I do, most of you know that I am not just Priscilla, but Dr. Priscilla. So it isn't like I just stepped out of the kitchen being able to come with informed information. This is what I was trained to do. And my training costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to get my doctorate in education for the non-native English speaker. So it isn't like I'm just talking about something that I just thought about. I was trained, and I've gone to conferences and sessions to be more informed as to how to present information to the non-native speaker in a way that is manageable, malleable, that you can understand it. But here's one thing that I do know, not just about non-native English speakers, it's just humans. Humans want things in a manner in which they don't want to take notes. They want to be one and done. One and done never worked. I don't know anybody that has done a one and done. As a matter of fact, Coach Dwania and I was just talking before we came on about how people that we may perceive as being advantaged or somewhat at a disadvantage because they have lived in a place where everything was abundantly available to them. When that source of abundance is no longer there, are they able to manage on their own? So as a non-native English speaker, as a comparison, if everything was easy for you, if you wanted to know 50 vocabulary words and I just gave you a list of vocabulary words and that was it, that would be wonderful. But with just having that list and trying to come up with a conversation, all that you have is words: estranged, disappointed, avenged. Yes, you know the meaning of these words, but do you know how to use the words? And this is what you will learn in the membership program, not just having the words, but knowing how to use the words. So if you feel like you're disenfranchised, what? Disenfranchised? What does it mean? You will hear me use these words over and over again, that you'll start to understand that disenfranchised means blah, 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 blah. And as an example, disenfranchised means that you don't have the availability of what someone else might have. So what do you do when you are disenfranchised? Try to make the best of a situation if you can. And this is what I'm offering to you. Some of you may not be able to go to an English speaking program every day because one, you may work, you may have family, you may have a spouse, you may have a lot of obstacles. Obstacles? What does that mean? You may have something that is going to deter you from becoming the best version of yourself. Here you have an opportunity to meet with me once a month and talk about how can you minimize your disenfranchised situation, meaning that you don't have everything available, readily available to you. Now that's a mouthful, but this is the type of thing that you'll get in your monthly membership, and you have access to me 24/7 with the Telegram, the Facebook group, and of course the activities and the videos. It's endless possibilities if you're interested in growing. So Abdul Rahman, if you have questions, please post them. I'll be happy to try and answer them at this point in time. But if not, know that I'm happy that you're here right now at this very moment. So yeah, and thank you for your patience, Coach Dwania. I didn't bring my drop cord or my extension charger, and my battery came up, says whatever it says, but now I'm okay.
You want to change your name? You know,
Yeah,
you
so
know how to
this
change your name.
I do. Okay, I'm going to change my name. Didn't
You want
even
to change
catch
your
that.
name, Mary?
Yeah. Okay, I'll change that. Thank you.
Well, I am so pleased to hear that you are embarking on starting a group that you get to go in and interact with at least once a month, you know. And
So that you brought up an interesting word, and this is what, when you're listening to news podcast, embarking, go find a pencil, write that down. You don't have to stop at the moment, but write it down and look it up. But since I mentioned it, what does the word embarking mean, Coach Dwania?
It means that you're getting ready to start something new.
And I
Getting
knew the word bark, and I was associating it with a dog.
Right.
I'm far from base in that regard. So these are just little things that you'll learn as you actively participate in your own learning. So
And
embarking
right.
means to begin something.
Begin something.
Awesome.
And I was mentioning earlier that I've had, while you were getting it all together, that I've had the opportunity to sit in on some of your classes sometimes. And I was just expressing, you know, even though I know your focus is on non-English speakers, a lot of English speakers would benefit from
Absolutely.
being a member of it also, you know, especially if you are a manager and, you know, or if you're administrative assistant or an executive assistant, and, you know, you have to write letters and reading that's involved and so forth and so on. Would be surprised at how much we think we know that we don't really know.
In addition to that, let's just talk about what you do. It doesn't matter where you live in any part of the world. There's a way that you conduct yourself. If you're speaking and you're out of energy and you're out of breath, maybe you should take a moment. And Coach Dwania talked to us many times about the importance of breathing, the importance of being aware of being in the moment, not doing something willy-nilly. Have some intentionality to that. So let's just talk about that for a moment. The importance of intentions and the importance of breathing and being aware of your body. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Absolutely. I just came back I was in Daytona for a week where I was with our coach, Lisa Nichols, doing Speakers Mastermind. And that's an advanced workshop where people come to learn how to become better speakers.
Okay, hold on right there. We are native speakers. Coach Dwania is talking about being in a speaker's mastermind. Okay, pick up from there.
Where over 96 or 7% of the people are English speaking people. So we only have 5% or less people who are English speakers. And we're there to sharpen our skills as it relates to speaking. And here again, not just for platform speakers, you know, keynote speakers, but for managers, for teachers, for families, you know, learning how do I say something to my daughter in a way where she won't think I'm trying to control her life. So we're learning, and breathing has so much to do with how we express ourselves and how we say words. Just in terms of in showing the techniques, I, along with, I think 5 or 6 other SAT coaches were there because we're there to help coach in the breakout sessions. And I can remember how nervous I was before going up on stage to do one of the techniques.
And aren't you a native English speaker?
I'm
living in New York?
Yep, living in New York, but it makes no difference. You're getting ready to get up in front of a room full of people. And it's really not the people that make me nervous so much. It's the fact that I'm doing it in front of my coach. And I don't want to mess up. So that's where my real nervousness is coming. Oh, am I going to remember what I'm supposed to do? Oh, I thought I was going to be able to do this in 45 seconds to a minute. Now she said, do it in like 20 seconds. Oh, am I going to be able to edit what I have? You know, so first you remember, am I going to be able to remember what I have? Oh, so I'm saying that to say, and then she says, okay, I want you, the coaches are going to come up here and, you know, in 15 to 20 seconds, they're going to show you an emotion and you're going to have to guess what that emotion is through your words.
Okay.
So you can imagine people's heart starts beating fast. So when your heart starts beating fast, your breath is affected by that.
Okay.
So the breathing becomes a little faster.
Mhm.
Not breathing as deep. So I remember at one point, I just zoomed everything out and I just was doing one of the breathing exercises that I love. I would just breathe in for 4 and I would hold it for 4 and I would exhale and I would hold it for 4. And I did that about 3 times.
Mhm.
Just reset my autonomic nervous system,
Mm.
just calm myself down. So when I walked up on that stage, I'm not going to say all of the nervousness had gone away, but the fast breathing and, and the heart beating as really, really fast slowed down as well. And
Mhm.
I could go and be in the moment and, and
Mhm.
deliver what I was supposed to deliver. But that is the power that the breath has. And it's something that we need as we learn, because if we learn a word, we're learning words, embark, not
Mhm.
how am I going to say that word? Once I hear a word and once I learn a word, how am I saying it? Am I saying that word with ownership, or am I saying that word like I'm embarrassed because I don't know what I'm talking about? Well, the breathing has a lot to do with all of that. And what
Mhm.
breathing really has to do with is how, the fact that I'm bold and I'm going to, learn and speak these words, new information that I'm learning
Mhm.
with a certain amount of what is the word that I'm looking for?
Certainty, authority, and
Absolutely.
ownership. Just know that.
Owning it. Right.
Just know that when you start out, as Coach Dwania is saying, her coach didn't just put her on the spot today. She has already prepared. You know what you don't know. If you can't say embark, you do not sound like a native speaker, not talking about the accent. But if your embark sounds like nabark, no, you just want to continue practicing until you can say it. And the more you practice, yes, you're going to stand in front of someone. However, when it's your turn to be called upon, the nervousness is not going to go completely away, but you are in control because you do know how to say this word. You've said it numerous times. So then, just like anything else, in your native language, whatever language it is that you're speaking, if you're on an interview, I'm almost certain 98% of the time, there's a tinge of uneasiness about, oops, I'm meeting someone for the first time. I know this job. I know that I'm a good candidate. I'm a good fit. I'm very qualified. After about 1 minute or less, you're comfortable. You know that this person wants the best person for the job. If you're the best person for the job, this is a good fit. Now, you may make it to the short list and you may not make it to the last 3, but if you can get on the short list and you get called back for the second and third interview, you're nailing it. Someone might be just a little bit better than you. Don't be discouraged. This job isn't for you. And this is what I'm going back to the membership. If you do not want to be a member, start where you are. Be active on Telegram. Be active in the Facebook group. When you're ready, we're going to be here. The price may be a little higher, but then you may be able to afford the higher price. So just know that Coach Dwania is not saying that she's stepping out on anyone's stage and performing at the level of the coach that coached her. So, but at some point, you will outgrow your coach. It may be in another area, but you will not need as much as you did need at the beginning. But we all have to start someplace. And if you're not breathing, you're dead.
Right.
Or you're dying.
And the breathing will just help you give yourself grace. Mm-hmm. and not not beat yourself up about not getting this information as fast as I want to get it. That will slow you down. That will slow down the process every time.
It's not about the speed. It's not about the fastest.
Not the speed. It really is not the speed. I'm always saying, take your time and actually have fun. Don't put stress on yourself that's not necessary. And a lot of the stress that many human beings are walking around with is self-imposed, because you know, gotta have it now. Gotta have it now, right now. I want it right now. Take your time and enjoy the process. Embrace the process. The way in which we learn things, the way in which we absorb information, the time, the comfort, how we are when we are in the process of learning something really it is a part of the results that we're looking for. It's going to definitely color the results of what it is that we get, you know, that the results that we want, you know, because it's fueled from a place of authority already. It's fueled from a place of, I love myself, I'm going to take my time. It's fueled from a positive place where there's a positive energy. And if we begin to understand, just because I'm showing up for Dr. Priscilla's membership class, just because I'm showing up, that is a great part of it. Now let me show up and act on it. And so then when we act on it, so I'm really going to have my homework done. I remember when I was in the first I was in the first Ignite class. I was in the first round. There were only 5 classes. So now we have 10 classes. She comes in and does 5 super sessions. I mean, it just keeps growing and growing. As you're saying, you know, your membership thing can grow into whatever it is you decided you wanted to create. But I remember the first time, and it was just like, oh my goodness, I had to make up in my mind right then. I felt so overwhelmed, you know, but I would never show up without my homework being done. Always show up. And that also speaks to you saying, no, I wanted to give it away for free, but I have all of these other, you know, ways that they can
actively participate
for free. I'm looking for the ones who are really ready to play a little harder. Okay, let's play a little harder now. So come into the group, and this is how we're going to go. And show up for yourself, you know. And I think that when people pay, they have more of a tendency to not just show up, but to actually be in action and get the homework done.
And they have what you mentioned a little earlier is the end goal. Have an end goal in mind. Do you really want to be fluent? Are you really ready to commit to fluency? Or do you just want to show up and oops, I don't know, maybe you're just bored. Okay, and that's fine too. If you're bored and you just want something to fill a moment, it's like watching TV. I'm not into this television program, but it's on. Okay, it didn't cost you anything to turn your TV on. I mean, you've got to pay the, I don't know, Netflix bill if you have it. That's fine. But if you really want to follow, say, a series on program, oh, it's Thursday at 2 p.m. Move, turn everything off. You will be there. You will show up on time because you want to know what the next step is, what is going to happen in the next session of whatever this Netflix is. So in the membership, you don't want to miss a month. You don't want to miss one day of one day that I show up. However, life does play a role in everybody's life. Something is going to happen this Saturday, this Monday, or Wednesday. You can't come. There is the recording. You have that. You can watch it, so you don't have to miss a step. So I hope that this has been an enlightening and informative session. So if you've noticed, we may have tweaked it a little bit, and I thought it was really informative and great, with the exception of my battery going dead on my laptop and I had to stop. But other than that, I think it was a fabulous session for us today.
I think so too, even with that, because it was handled so smoothly.
That was life.
Time when we would get all upset and frustrated, we would get a little frustrated. And remember, Dr. P, that's really how we started this Facebook
I
Live.
know.
We just wanted to know how to use stuff and
How
to
does this work? How does this work? Wait a
And
minute,
it's
I don't see me. I don't
Right,
see you.
right. How do we, what do we need to do? What button do we need to push? I'm telling you all, we used to be on Zooms together, walking through stuff. Okay, this is what you need to sign up to Zoom just to send out the invitation and whatever. So we were learning a lot, and so we said, why don't we just do a Facebook Live just to see how that all works?
And we started in 2021 and it's 2023. And I tell you, we have progressed.
We've done over 100 shows. If we haven't done over 100, we've done close to 100. And I think we've done about 100 shows. And because actually we started, are you sure we didn't start in 2020? Was it, if we started in 2021, it was at the top of the year. If it was 20, because you're right, we went to Lakeisha's workshop in Pittsburgh, and that was
that's where we. Well, no, I had met you prior to that.
Yeah, we knew each other already.
Yeah,
we met each other at a speaking right.
Speaking right.
Yeah. We met each other at a speaking right, and Lakeisha was holding her event in the October of 2020.
Okay.
So it was at the end of the year. So you're right. I think we started doing the Facebook Live sometime in early
2021.
So we're into 2021 to 22, 2020.
We're in 23 now.
Yeah,
we're going into our third season.
Going into our third season. So we developed a lot of content, that we.
Yeah, exactly. Even the flubs. What do they call those things when they show you the mishaps in the recordings? What do they call those things?
I wanted the takeaways, and then I'm thinking in film, what are they?
Yeah, they call them something.
Take out something out. I know what you're talking about. I don't know why I can't think of.
Yeah, I know what they are, but bloopers.
Yeah, the bloopers.
We've had our share of bloopers. Like,
yeah, we have definitely had our share of bloopers.
Like, where'd she go? Are you there?
Yeah. And remember the one, but to me, to date, the funniest one was when I had the volume on my computer turned down and I kept telling you, I can't hear you, but I can't hear you, but I can't hear you. And I think you were driving. Were you driving or something?
I can't remember.
Girl, that was so funny. And you got off and tried to get on something else. And I'm like, we still can't hear you.
Yes, I remember.
I don't know what made me finally. I was just pushing buttons. And I ended up pushing the button. I was like, and I felt like, oh my God. Because at some point, Priscilla, you ain't gotten off the call. You weren't even on the call. I think that's when I realized I had the volume off all these. I was like, well, how am I going to tell her it was me? I had the volume off on my computer. That's why I could not hear you.
And that's determination, though. We were persistent. We wanted to be sure. We wanted to do this, and we wanted to do it so that it would continue to show that there's value in everything that you do, even if it's nothing more than the value of learning something.
Right.
So we have learned a lot. We've learned a lot about editing software, editing our videos. I'm becoming the queen of making YouTube videos. So if you haven't gone to my YouTube channel, Speak Excellent English Academy, that YouTube channel is there and growing. Many of my thumbnails are changing so that you can easily and readily see me and know that, oh yeah, let's watch that one. So don't miss or sleep on this opportunity. As Haseen was saying, sleep on this opportunity because it is available to everyone. And with a capacity to have over 100,000 members on a Facebook group, now is the time for you to get in. Learn from me, learn from everyone else that is a member, and just be encouraging and inviting to each other that if you can do it, if I can do it, so can everyone else. So my parting words for today is, I love you guys. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, I like that. And mine is lead with the heart and be kind on purpose. And
Awesome.
until next week,
And until next week, it is ready.
set, go live. We'll see
Bye,
you guys.
everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you all next week.